Assalamu alaikum students. Now in this lecture, lecture 19 and 21 again. This is a continuation of that lecture in which we discuss the Bragg's law. Now, basically, if the incident X-ray beam makes an angle theta with the crystal face. Now, in the last video, we discussed that when the X-rays falls on this crystal surface, then these X-rays makes an angle theta, and that angle theta is called the glancing angle theta. Now, if the incident X-ray beam makes an angle theta with the crystal face, which is also called glancing angle theta, if we consider simple reflection by first lattice layer of crystal, then it is reflected by angle theta. Now, basically, this is when the incident ray AB falls on the lattice surface, first lattice layer. Then it makes an angle theta, and after reflection from this lattice atom, the reflected ray is BC, and that reflected ray also makes an angle theta with the lattice layer. Now, as shown in figure 2, it is explained by Bragg's law. When X-rays strike the first layer by glancing angle theta, then they are reflected by same angle theta. Now, when some rays are reflected by कुछ जो रेज़ हैं वो तो फर्स्ट लैटिस लेयर से स्ट्राइक करके रिफ्लेक्ट बैक हो जाती हैं, लेकिन कुछ जो एक्स रेज हैं वेव्स की सूरत में, दे आर आल्सो पेनिट्रेट इनसाइड द crystal and reflected by the second lattice layer. So then when they are reflected by second lattice layer by penetrating in the crystal and then reflected by some angle, same angle, then we have to find out the path difference of these two reflected rays. Now basically we have to find out the path difference. Now there is the path difference between these two reflected rays. Now how we can find out the path difference of these two reflected rays, and the path difference decided that whether the interference is constructive or destructive. Now basically if we have any wavelength, then there is the constructive interference. Now how we can calculate the path difference? Path difference can be calculated by using figure 2. This figure is used to calculate the path difference D. So join, in this case join B and E, and that B and E is equal to D. Now draw a perpendicular. After that, draw a perpendicular from B on line DE and on line EF. B is equal to path difference between two lattice. BE is equal to path difference between two lattice layers, and that is equal to D. Now basically we have to draw a perpendicular on DE from B, and we draw another perpendicular on EF from B. Now basically these two are perpendicular on line on incident ray DE and refracted ray EF. Now we have to now basically these if we minus this part, if we minus this part, then we say the path these two incident rays are parallel and these two reflected rays are parallel. So basically we have to find out this path difference between two reflected rays or between two incident rays. Now path difference can be calculated by using this method. So the path difference between two parallel rays. Parallel rays are ABC and DEF, and DEF is equal to PEQ. So this is equals to DABC and DEF is equal to PEQ. This is the path difference between two rays. Clear, students? Now PEQ, it is also equal to 2PE. As you know that this PE is equal to EQ. दोनों जो हैं PE एंड EQ जो हैं वो सेम है, तो हम इनको इस तरह भी लिख सकते हैं कि that is equal to 2PE. We can also write 2EQ, but हम यहाँ पे लिख रहे हैं कि that is equals to 2PE. So we have to find out this PE. Now from this diagram you can see that this is known, that is equal to D. This is 90-degree angle. This is also 90-degree angle. Clear, students? If this is 90, then if this total is equal to 90, then this is equal to 90 minus theta. This angle is equal to 90 minus theta. If this is 90 minus theta, this is 90, then this is theta. Now basically we have to find out this theta. In the this theta, so we know that according to this is 90 minus theta, this is 90 and this is theta. So according to trigonometry, we know that this is hypotenuse, okay, and this is perpendicular. So in order to find out this distance PE, we say that sine theta is equal to perpendicular over hypotenuse. It means that sine theta is equal to perpendicular over hypotenuse. So it is equal to PE over D. Perpendicular is equal to PE and that is D. So PE is equal to D sine theta. Clear, as students, that we find out this by using this right angle triangle. We can see that we have to find out this sine theta, and sine theta is equal to PE over D, and from here PE is equal to D sine theta. Now we know that the path difference, we denote the path difference with L, and from here we write 2D sine theta, because we say that path difference is equal to 2PE. So we can write path difference is equal to 2D sine theta. And now again for constructive interference, we know that when the path difference is equal to n lambda, where n is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, so on. So L is equal to n lambda for constructive interference. Therefore, n lambda is equal to 2D sine theta. That is the Bragg's law. Now from here we can also define a curve between intensity of ionization, that is X-rays, and glancing angle theta is plotted. We get X-rays spectrum. Now which is shown in figure 3. It is seen that the intensity of the reflected beam shows sharp maxima only for certain value of glancing angle theta. and that values are and that are the values where we have constructive interference. Constructive interference when n is equal to 1, and when theta is equal to theta 1. Constructive interference when n is equal to 2 and theta is equal to theta 2, and constructive interference when n is equal to 3 and theta is equal to theta 3. No, basically this is the X-ray spectra, and it is the plot is between intensity and glancing angle theta. Now basically when the X-ray strikes with the first lattice layer, we have n is equal to 1. When it strikes with the second lattice layer, we have n is equal to 3, and when it strikes with the third lattice layer, we have n is equal to 3. In this case, the intensity, the value of theta 1 is also decreased when n is increased. So it means we note that if in theta 1, theta 2 and theta 3 we have constructive interference, and the intensity of reflected beam diminishes as the spectrum increases. For n1, n is equal to 1, d is equal to this. For n is equal to 2, d is equal to lambda over 2 sine theta 1. For n is equal to 2, d is equal to lambda over sine theta 2. For n is equal to 3, d is equal to 3 lambda over 2 sine theta 3. So we can find the value of d if we know wavelength of X-rays and glancing angle theta. Now second point is the position of peaks depend on the material used as target in the X-ray tube, and the crystal as well as the crystal face reflecting the beam. This shows that each metal target emits its own characteristic radiation. We discuss the characteristic radiation in next week. The intensity of the reflected beam never falls to zero, but only to a minimum value. This fact points out the existence of a continuous spectrum on which it is superimposed a characteristic line spectrum. We discussed this continuous spectrum in lecture 21. Thank you.